watching a global celebration of all things Notre Dame, where we invite you to watch, connect, give, and vote. This is Notre Dame Day, live from the LaFortune Student Center.
Welcome back to Notre Dame Day. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to hour number 6 of Notre Dame Day, a 29-hour global celebration of the University of Notre Dame. If you're back for our 6th hour, thank you for watching. We promise you this hour's broadcast will not disappoint. My name is Jack Nolan. If you're a fan of Notre Dame athletics, you'll know me from my work for Fighting Irish Digital Media. I'm here at the LaFortune Student Center, which, yes, this is a college campus heading towards exam. It is still jumping here on the Notre Dame campus as we head into the early morning hours of Monday. We're just a few minutes away, a few steps away, really, from the administration building and the iconic Golden Dome. This will be our broadcast headquarters for the next 23 hours as we celebrate all things Notre Dame with students, alumni, parents, friends, and fans from all around the world. And I'm joined here in the studio by my co-host, Notre Dame senior, Jeff Gerlomas. Jeff, I'm glad we got you in from outside.
Yeah, I know it was a little chilly out by the grotto. Thank you, Jack. Glad to be here with you to help celebrate Notre Dame Day. This is the first time that any university has undertaken a broadcast over the internet for a remarkable 29 hours straight. Only Notre Dame.
That's right, Jeff. We are bringing you the stories of great students, great teachers, inspiring programs, and life-changing research. We are bringing you stories from the community of faith and friendship that is growing every single day here at Notre Dame.
Coming up, we'll have a special visit from Notre Dame finance professor Carl Ackermann.
I'm definitely looking forward to this interview. Bloomberg Business Week has ranked the Mendoza College of Business #1 for an unprecedented 5 consecutive years, and Carl has been a big part of that. But for now, let's take a look at where the action is. Notre Dame reporter Claire Rembecki is standing by live. Claire, where are you on campus right now?
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jack. I'm here live at the offices of The Observer, Notre Dame and St. Mary's College student-run independent newspaper. As you can see, the staff is hard at work behind me, putting the finishing touches on tomorrow's issue. I'm met here with Aaron, who is the copy editor for the Viewpoint section, and Anne-Marie, who is the serving editor-in-chief. Aaron, when did you start putting together stories for tomorrow's issue?
Around 6:30 p.m. tonight, I got here.
And about how many stories are going to be in your section of The Observer?
About 4 stories in my section, about 20 in the entire newspaper.
And Anna-Marie, how long do you intend being here tonight?
I hope not too much longer, but it'll probably end up being between 2 and 3.
Can we get a sneak peek of tomorrow's headline?
Sure. We have an exciting story about the canonizations of Popes John Paul II and John the 23rd coming up tomorrow.
Fantastic. Well, I'll let you guys get back to work. I'm sure you have a lot to do. That's the latest from the offices of The Observer. As always, you can pick up tomorrow's issue just about anywhere on campus tomorrow morning. Jeff and Jack, back to you guys.
All right, we have now moved to our Notre Dame interview area, and we are welcoming to our interview area right now Professor Carl Ackermann from the Mendoza College of Business. And the first question I have to ask you is, what do you do here?
Well, thanks, Jack, and it's a great pleasure to meet you. I teach the introductory finance course here at Notre Dame. I've been here for 16 joyous years.
And I'm already convinced it's a very interesting class indeed. Now, every professor has a signature area in their teaching that they are especially passionate about. What is yours?
Yeah, Jack, that's a great question. And I think that there are 2 areas that Americans are severely undereducated in, and those are nutrition and also personal finance. Now, I know nothing about nutrition. I still eat Captain Crunch, for example, but I have learned a lot about personal finance. And so what we try to do is bring a study of our students' personal financial affairs into that introductory finance course. They find it interesting, they find it practical, they find it relevant in their lives. So for example, we try to show them how they can accumulate a significant amount in their employer's retirement plan over the course of their careers, and then way more importantly than that, what they can do with that to then help others and improve the state of the world, support important social causes, et cetera.
All right, now everybody who is watching us, and they are watching from all around the world, literally, is wondering, what's the deal with the gorilla suit?
So, thanks a lot for asking. I teach the introductory finance course, and that is one of the very first courses that business students take. I teach it in the fall semester of the sophomore year. And in fact, the way the schedule runs, usually that's the very first business exam that they take. And so because of that, on the way leading up to that exam and also in the exam itself, they're extremely nervous. So I have to do something to try to break the tension. And so what I do is during the exam, I will slip away to the men's room and I will change out of my regular suit and I will change into this gorilla suit, and then I run through the exam yelling and screaming and throwing out bananas to the students. And that allows them, I think, to really relax, smile, laugh, and after that, I think, do much better work.
You know, I think that's a terrific idea. My dad was a law professor in Boston, and in the old days, they used blue books. And I used to get to see some of the blue books, and you could see the sweat stains.
Oh, yeah.
And the writing would start okay, and it would almost be illegible. So not only in that class, but does your gorilla suit routine, do you think it helps calm them throughout their years in Mendoza?
Oh, I think so. I think it's important with something like that to set the tone and create an atmosphere of approachability between the students and the professors. And I think this is one of the things that sets that tone immediately. When you asked about that, I mentioned that this is something that I used to do, and the reason I don't do it anymore is that after I did this for a couple of years, students got onto the pattern and they figured out what was coming. And so one year when I went to the men's room to change and came back into the room as the gorilla, a student exited the room at that time and grabbed my actual clothes and made off with them. So when I went back to the men's room to change, my clothes were not there, so I had to come back into the room like this and rot for about an hour and a half in this suit. It's about 200 degrees in this suit, and then after I wore it for about an hour, my wife told me I smelled like a tire for about a week. So now we've gone to a plan where it's much more sophisticated now. We have about 10 gorillas and bananas come in simultaneously and battle it out.
Well, and tonight we've decided to add television lights to the gorilla suit. So we won't keep you too much longer, but I can't let you go without referencing a guest we had on earlier tonight, Ruth Riley, the Notre Dame and WNBA, an Olympic basketball star. And I understand that you once went one-on-one with Ruth in the classroom. What was that?
Yeah, it's actually true, and we wish we had had you there announcing, Jack. That would have made it extra special. But Ruth, I didn't have Ruth as a student, but I got to know her through a couple of her friends. And so in her upper class years, we would trash talk back and forth about an upcoming one-on-one game of Nerf basketball. And she would sometimes visit my class on the way by and poke her head in and say, you know, you're lucky I don't have time to come in there and embarrass you. But finally, senior year, on the last week of classes, she showed up with a Nerf hoop, and she walked in the classroom and stuck it on the window and demanded a match. I made her sit through the entire class so that her mind would be a little bit numb by the time we got to the game. And then when we got there and played, we played one-on-one, I decided she would destroy me if I played conventionally. So instead of going where I thought I should go, I decided to do the opposite. I reached my hand out and suddenly I had the ball, and I think she was kind of surprised too. And then I went on offense and I was able to do a quick up and under move. I did score that basket. And I think that game was supposed to be up to 5, but once I got the lead, I immediately claimed the game was over and immediately retired. I haven't shot another Nerf shot since, but it was, you know, for me, lots of fun, but really just another day at the office beating, you know, perhaps Notre Dame's most decorated athlete in a one-on-one game.
And certainly that's a great indication. And I think people would be stunned at how many of Notre Dame's high-profile athletes also compete and compete successfully in the Mendoza College of Business.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been very lucky to have them. And so many of our athletes, of course, go on to tremendous success in their careers. And I think a big part of that is the time management skills that they learn along the way. I think to be successful as athletes and students, they need to learn to manage their time so efficiently and effectively. And then we find that when they leave Mendoza and they go on to their careers, when they often give up the athletic side at that point, now they're able to devote all of their energies to their careers and become extraordinary successes as a result of it.
Well, I know you're also a runner, which is probably why you're in such good shape, because if I were wearing that suit right now, the sweat would be pouring off my face. But you're a cool customer. Professional, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Jack.
Thanks for coming by tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you
Great
very
pleasure.
much.
Thanks for having me so much. And remember, you can vote for the undergraduate program at the Mendoza College of Business.
You know, and that's, everybody's been so nice tonight. Nobody's been doing that, but this is kind of a competition tonight where you can vote for your favorite area of the university. We have a $250,000 fund that will be divvied up based on the votes. All you got to do is contribute $10 or more, and you get 3 votes. So thanks for bringing that up.
Thanks, Jack.
We'll be bringing it up more and more.
I'm about to donate and vote myself.
All right, thank you. Now, coming up soon, we will have a late-night performance from Notre Dame alumnus Pat McKillen. But for right now, let's take a look at a special program in the Mendoza College of Business. This one was started 60 years ago and attracts students from around the world. In my time at Notre Dame, I've heard a lot about the MBA program, but I didn't realize that Father Ted started it 60 years ago. A truly remarkable man. I know you've had the chance to meet him. I did many times, but a few years ago I had to interview him, and he gave me a tour of his office in the library, one of the great treats of my life. And when you go around and see everything this man has done, what a treasure he is for this university.
And the humility with which he presents himself when you meet him. You would never think that this guy had done all of this stuff, and he's ready to sit down and talk to you like you're his best friend.
Absolutely.
Well, Jack, it's in fact, this Masters of Nonprofit Administration program is really a special one to me as well. The CEO of my Catholic high school is another alumnus. So
wow.
One more way in which I'm immensely grateful for my experience at Notre Dame. Now we're going to have a little change of pace. Notre Dame Day reporter Catherine Dudas is live on set with a musical guest. The New York Times calls him one of the most versatile emerging artists on the scene. Catherine?
Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm here at the Notre Dame Day performance stage with Pat McKillen. He's a Notre Dame grad who is a singer-songwriter in Chicago. Pat, hello. You released an album recently, right?
I did. It's a 7-song EP called Love Without Me, recorded and produced by myself. Kind of a cross between my folk rock roots and introducing some more pop and hip-hop percussive beats to it. So.
Yeah, so that's kind of how you'd categorize your music?
Yeah, I would call it progressive folk rock, something like that. As many words as possible.
Okay, well, let's hear it. Let's decide for ourselves. Okay, rock it.
A couple whiskeys later and you're staring at the sky. Your back's on the pavement and the moon is on fire. The moon's on fire. This is my country song for the city girls. This is my one more for the road. This is the late night walk home after one too many, and this is my one last love. So around in America, they're dancing in the sunshine. So down in Chicago, I'll be soaking up the moonlight. I'm not gonna stop until I can get this one right. This is my country song for the city girls. Couple minutes later and your life has passed you by. You stare into the moon now and you're asking yourself why. Oh, these little things that she might say, all that she does in a mixed up way. Another lonesome minute here and another lonesome day. So we're out in America, they're dancing in the sunshine. So we're down in Chicago, I'll be soaking up the moonlight. I'm not gonna stop until I can get this one right. This is my country song for the city girls. Oh, this is my country song for the city girls. Oh, no, no. Oh, she ain't coming home. No, and I'm out here on my own. No, no, I can't see it all. This is my country song for the city girls. This is my one more for the road. Somewhere out in America, they're dancing in the sunshine. Somewhere down in Chicago, I'll be soaking up the moonlight. I'm not gonna stop until I can get this one right. This is my country song for the city girls. Oh, this is my country song for the city girls. Oh, this is my country song. Oh, this is my country song for the city girls.
I kind of wanted you to do another song. So that was fantastic. Thank you so much, and best of luck. That was great. Jeff, back to you.
Thanks, Catherine. Coming up next, we'll hear from two extraordinary students in the Mendoza College of Business. They started an innovative program to help people in debt get back on their feet.
But Jeff, right now we have a video message from Roger Wong, the Dean of the Mendoza College of Business. Let's watch.
My favorite Notre Dame stories are those that involve our people as a community. Of course, we love celebrating good news together, but the phrase Notre Dame family really takes on meaning when the news is not so good. That's when you see our people draw together to support each other, mourn with each other, or reach out in extraordinary ways to help. I've witnessed this on many, many occasions, but one that comes to mind happened a few years ago during the worst of the economic recession. Almost overnight, the job market evaporated. Every day there were new headlines about companies laying off thousands of workers. For a business school with students graduating and seeking that first important job, this is a very daunting scenario. Then we started to have alumni calling our programs and asking how they could help. They offered to help find jobs and internships or network on behalf of our students. At a time when things were difficult for so many, they thought of how they could help those who would follow in their footsteps. Their efforts made a real difference. In an age when it can be so easy to become disconnected from others and hard to connect with others in a meaningful way, this story shows what a privilege it is to be part of Notre Dame. It's the definition of family.
Dean Wong has many reasons to be proud. #1 for 5 years in a row. That's an amazing accomplishment.
And speaking of accomplishments, Jack, let's take a look at a unique program created by two students in the Mendoza College of Business. It's called Jiffy, and it's having a real impact in the South Bend community. Let's watch.
South Bend, Indiana currently lives under the shadows of its, Rust Belt legacy. More than a quarter of people in South Bend are living at or below the poverty line, and shockingly, more than 44% of children in South Bend are in poverty. After freshman year of college, I had a chance to go to India and do some research on troubled money lending, and that's when my interest in how debt plays in people's lives started budding. When I came back, I wanted a way to really apply that directly into my environment in school, and I soon learned a lot about the predatory financial services that are being offered to the under-resourced populations, and that really hit me hard, and it really gave me an inspiration to start something right here at home at Notre Dame that could really make an impact.
The Jubilee Initiative for Financial Inclusion, also known as Jiffy, is a student-run microfinance organization at the University of Notre Dame. What we basically do is try and provide credit sourcing for people in the South Bend community so that they don't have to go to predatory payday lenders.
There are more than 15 different payday lending storefronts around South Bend, and we estimate that around 7,000 borrowers actively take out these payday loans every year in South Bend.
How it would regularly work with a payday lender is they would go to the payday lender, ask for the loan, have to pay it back in about 2 weeks with an interest rate of about 390%. And obviously, if someone can't afford it in 1 week, they're not going to be able to pay it back 2 weeks later with that huge fee. And so this just starts a huge cycle of poverty.
I lost my job. I was laid off, called back. And when I got called back, then I was laid off again. So I decided to go to school, so that was my bills just really went really bad. I couldn't get caught up. I got behind.
Jiffy was started on this idea that we should be a nonprofit that brings people out of poverty, in contrast with a nonprofit that just helps people manage poverty.
You know, one of my favorite parts of working with Jiffy is my ability to kind of be with our clients and really live what they're living.
Working with Jiffy is different from other companies because they give you a chance, and although you may have bad credit.
I think a lot of times you see organizations where it's being run in a way that you don't really get to do much, and I pretty much knew from day one that Jiffy was going to be actually doing things.
Jiffy's not trying to fix a broken arm with a Band-Aid. We're here to put on the full cast to get people back in recovery and to bring that financial independence to South Bend.
If everyone was able to think about how they could make a difference with their lives at the moment without having to wait for the next big thing to happen, I think it'll be really powerful.
We're trying to be that different organization that really seeks to break the greater problem.
Jiffy recognizes that we are only one small part of the solution, and our success is not going to change the world, but what drives us every day is the fact that if we do our job, it'll change someone's world.
And here now in our interview area with us are Jake Bebar and Peter Wu. Thank you very much for joining us. They are the founders of the Jubilee Initiative, or Financial Inclusion, better known as Jiffy. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now, what were some of the challenges that you faced while trying to start this up, Peter?
Sure. Yeah, I guess I can take that question. The biggest challenge I think we faced was getting a clear vision on what we wanted to do. You know, we had a pretty unique idea that no one's ever really tackled before. And we wanted to see how we could take what we have here, the resources at Notre Dame, as well as what we've been learning in class, and apply it to real life to really make an impact in the South Bend community. And luckily, we've found a lot of good resources through the Jago Center and through Professor Melissa Paulson. We were able to get really good connections to help us kind of shape our vision and go from there.
Jay, can you tell us a little bit more about how the lending process works?
Yeah, definitely. So the lending process has definitely changed a bit as we've kind of figured out what works and what doesn't work. To kind of start off, a client calls just kind of telling us their situation, what they've been involved with, and just kind of what their history is, so we can find out kind of a better overall aspect of who they are. After that, we have an initial meeting with them, kind of go through their credit report, not so much to see if they're qualified for a loan, but more to get an overall view of their entire financial situation. We really work on trying to make sure that we understand the whole person that we're working with, so the loan process is very unique to the specific person that we work with. And then the client, if issued a loan, will meet with the same exact loan officer who is a student every 2 weeks, and when they make their payment for a loan, we actually go through a financial empowerment curriculum piece. So it's very, very unique and important to each client that we're giving them that personal kind of response.
Now, Peter, what makes your organization, Jiffy, different from what's more commonly known as the average payday lender?
Yeah, so I think there are many key areas where we are different from the payday lender. First of all, I think that we really have our clients' benefit in mind. We took a lot from what we learned here about Catholic social thought and really applied it to enterprise to see how we can structure products that are not only profitable but also edifying for the client itself. We like to talk about the interest rates. The payday lenders charge up to 400% in Indiana, whereas we only charge 21% at this point. But what really differentiates us is what Jake really mentioned, having this personal touch with everyone, making sure that they're being catered to according to their needs.
Jake, can you tell us how many people you've helped so far in South Bend?
Yeah, so as of now, we've given out 12 loans in total. We've met with well more than that, many more people. So even if we can't issue a loan to a client, we'll still meet with them often to try and help them out in any way that we can, whether that's helping them build a resume, kind of helping them partner with community organizations, just to try and see what resources would be best for them. We're really interested in what's going to be best for them, and if a loan isn't best for them, then we don't want to give them that loan. But we have helped 12 clients, and ranging anywhere from helping them get to training sessions to fixing emergency situations.
Now, Peter, in an ideal world, where do you see the organization in 10 years?
We like to tell ourselves that ideally we shouldn't exist anymore down the line, because no one would need to have to visit a lender to fill their immediate needs, but at the same time, being more realistic, we hope to be at a place where we can serve all 7,000 members of our South Bend community who regularly visit payday lenders. We hope to be the #1 place that people think about when they have a crunch in their financial budgeting and practices. So yeah, that's where we see ourselves in 10, 15 years.
A great use of your education, business and ethics, all combined into one.
Thanks to Mendoza, yeah, that's great.
Guys, thank you.
Awesome.
Did a good
Thank you,
job
Jack.
too. I like the shirts.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Much more comfortable than most of the ties that I have, so I really do like that. Now, coming up next, we'll have more from we will see Notre Dame Accounting Professor Ed Hums, but first this video.
It was a perfect fit for me personally. Professionally, I wanted to go to a school like Notre Dame that had the reputation that it did. It's been one of the best things I ever could have done for myself, personally and professionally.
When the M&A Notre Dame program speaks of that servant heart but business mind, what they're saying is take what you love to do, take that personal responsibility, that individualism that you've taken that merges volunteerism and philanthropic mindset with professionalism, and find the tools to do the best that you can do and forward the mission.
As soon as I started teaching in the program, I was immediately hooked on the program. I knew it was different. It was just because the students are so eager to absorb the information in my classroom and all the other faculty's classrooms, so eager to apply it to their careers in a way that they can make an impact on society.
I think this program really is for those individuals who, regardless of their field, have gotten into nonprofit administration because they love it. And it's a program designed for those people who still have that has, as they call it, the servant heart, but need the business mind to go along with it. And that's the beauty of the program.
How many times have any of us watched the news or walked down a street in a big city and wish that someone would do something? And it could be any social issue, it could be any community problem. But what the M&A program did for me is it gave me the confidence to know that I could do something about that the peers and the individuals that I meet at this program, all of us can do something.
The fact that the program is at the University of Notre Dame makes it special. I mean, the Notre Dame network, the Notre Dame community, the family feeling you have when you're on campus, it's like nowhere else. But the fact that the M&A program is also housed in the business school, where asking more of business and doing business for good is already what we strive to do. It just makes the M&A program, part of the business family, because we're all out to do the same thing. My experience in the M&A program actually is one of the main experiences in my career so far where I felt like what I was doing really had meaning.
It's that servant heart, business mind. That's what the program is all about, injecting yourself into issues and helping become part of the solution.
And joining us now in the studio here on Notre Dame Day is a man who Bloomberg Businessweek calls one of America's favorite business professors. Professor Ed Hums joins us now from, of course, the Mendoza College of Business. Thanks for staying up late tonight.
Jack, thanks a lot, buddy. Glad to be here.
Now, what topics do you teach?
I teach accounting. I teach financial accounting. I teach managerial accounting, primarily to our sophomores. So the students first coming into the College of Business, that's where I get to see them, and it's a great opportunity to deal with a lot of students that are thinking about a business career, and whether you're majoring in accounting or finance or marketing, we get to see them all.
Now, I don't want people to think that we're jewelry guys, but we were comparing jewelry earlier. And you have a football championship ring.
This is a 1973 championship ring from Notre Dame. I was Eric Persigian's lead student trainer that year. And it was a great experience.
I have to ask you, because I think he's one of the great people I've ever met.
Absolutely.
What did you learn from that experience from Era?
What I learned from Era is intensity, is to do everything into it excellent and to do everything first class, to be well prepared. He was one of the most intense people I ever met in my life, but you know something, he was very organized, and his players loved him. His players absolutely loved him.
Take me through your path from that and graduating, getting your Notre Dame degree, and returning here as a professor.
Well, I had a chance, when I was graduating, I had a chance to take a job in a position in the athletic department. So I started in the ticket office at Notre Dame. Actually got the job before I graduated in March of '75. Spent a little time in the ticket office, went over to the main building, worked in accounting, worked in finance, worked in budgeting, worked in taxes, worked in business operations for a while. And then in 1989, they asked me to go over and teach a class over in the College of Business, kind of to help them out. And I took that opportunity. I was kind of scared because I wasn't much of a student, you know. And I took the opportunity and started teaching part-time up until about 2000, when I had the opportunity to go over there on a full-time basis. And so my teaching career full-time started in 2000. I've been there ever since.
You've done a lot of unique things, and I don't know, I guess we'll ask you how you convinced your wife to do this after we explain what it was, but you and your wife, Shirley, were Notre Dame's first ever faculty in residence.
We are. Yes.
And you're still faculty.
We still are.
Where do you live?
We live in Lions Hall, which is amazing. When I went to Notre Dame, Jack, I came in 1971. I came with Digger. In 1971, Notre Dame was all men. And now, every morning, I wake up with 190 nieces. Well, what happened is Student Affairs, and it was primarily Aaron Hoffman Harding, was looking for somebody to pilot this program. They approached us. We said yes. Took a little convincing for Shirley, but she agreed to it. And we moved into Lions Hall this summer, and we've been in Lions Hall this year. And we're there to serve as a good role model for the students, and just to show them what a faculty member's like, the accessibility, and just to develop a closer relationship with students and faculty. One of the things that you have sometimes as an institution gets bigger is the student and faculty tend to do this. They tend to move apart a little bit. And I think these are efforts that Student Affairs and the Provost Office are making to close that gap. And it's worked out very well. We've had a great experience, and the women in Lions are just wonderful.
Now, we didn't have a chance to chat about this, but do you have some kids?
It's just Shirley and myself.
So now you have tons of daughters.
190, yes.
Does your wife feel kind of like the house mom to a degree?
She gets to hear a lot of things. Yeah, it's interesting. If folks are familiar with Lions Hall, they have the Lions Arch, which is kind of the traditional spot on campus. Mm-hmm. Our bedroom is right next to the arch at Lions Hall, so she tends to hear a lot of conversations when they drop people off and stop visiting and things like that. Yeah, but the women were wonderful.
Now, how long will you do this?
Hopefully for a couple of years. You're faculty in residence. 1 year you're a visitor, and after that you become more of a resident and being exposed to the entire life cycle of a year here at Notre Dame. And I think next year it'll be a little bit more comfortable for us.
So you're now you may have a unique experience at both you and your wife. I'm not sure there are too many that have done as many things as you have done. You've certainly may be the first adult male ever to live in a female residence hall.
Adult male, that's not a priest.
That's not a priest.
Not a member.
Yes.
That's correct. Yeah, so I break parietals every night.
That is a great line. And again, civilian, I guess we could say, because obviously the priests are in residence here all the time.
Absolutely,
but, I mean, I think that's just fascinating. I really do, and I did not know this beforehand. What's your favorite part of teaching at Notre Dame?
My favorite part of teaching is being around my students. The students that you have at Notre Dame are just exceptional. I mean, I've always told people the smartest folks on this campus are your undergraduate students. They're very smart. They might not have the most experience, but they're wonderful people. They're intelligent. They've got great plans. They come from a great background, most of them, and it's just unbelievable. It's exciting to be here. I've seen other faculty members who've come to Notre Dame, and the reason they come to Notre Dame is not necessarily for the money, but for the environment, for the uplifting experience that they have with their students. It's really an exciting time to be here.
Well,
And
thanks for staying up late.
Well, I'll tell
you don't have a long way to go.
We don't have a long way to go home, and it's not necessarily that late, because sometimes, you know, the girls stay up a little late. So can you give a shout out to Lions Hall?
Absolutely.
There's a little Lions love to everybody, and appreciate it.
So nice
Jack, thanks a lot.
Thank you very, very much. Now, as we wrap up this hour, we're going to check in with reporter Catherine Dudas right now, who has the latest from the Notre Dame Day Social Media Command Center. Catherine.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, we're here with Mark and Jonathan again, and they are wearing the coolest hats I have ever seen. Guys, do your thing.
All right, welcome back to the Social Media Lounge. We've got these hats on, and we're going to keep them on in here until we reach 1,000 gifts, and that's coming up soon. Craig Horvath at the other end is going to give you an update on that towards the end. But first, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. To my left, introducing to you Steve Hill. Steve has joined us from the MBA program, and he's helping us out in the Social Media Command Center tonight. Say hi to the folks, Steve.
Hi, everybody.
All right, great. Now, if you're around on campus or you're going to come into La Fortune, stop by. We have snacks, we have drinks, we have TV screens, and who doesn't love a good TV screen? And speaking of TV screens, we're going to jump into the next segment right now. If you check this out, this is a map of the world. And on it, you'll notice lots of colors. What do the colors mean? Those are countries from which people have come to NotreDameDay.nd.edu. We're talking 62 countries and counting. Keep up the good work out there. We're hoping to get the rest of the countries in the globe visiting us soon, real soon. Now, jumping forward, we've got the big green button again. Remember, if you want to get involved, you want to join in, you want to get your favorite part of Notre Dame to win dollars from the $250,000 challenge fund, you've got to come in here and press that green button. Now, before we jump into Jonathan, who's going to take you through some of the social media, I want to remind you that the shirt was revealed recently. Check it out. It's got a We Are ND on the back. It's a great shirt as always. And here we go with Jonathan to the social media side.
Thank you, Mark. That is a great shirt. Thanks so much to all of you who are staying up with us late night tonight. We're going to be going all night long live here from the Fortune Student Center. This is truly the global epicenter of Notre Dame Day. As Mark told you, 62 countries tuning in, and we're just getting started. We're so happy to have you with us. We're so happy that you're deciding to give and cast your votes. We're so excited. Also want to give a shout out to Jeff at the anchor desk. As a fellow NDTV alum, Jeff's doing a great job. He does a great job with the guys on NDTV Channel 53 here on campus. Social media, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so the shirt, are you watching ND Day? They're giving us a shout out big time. Globally, as Mark said, here are all of our social ambassadors around the globe. You see most of them are in the United States. However, we have big presence in El Salvador, Colombia, Ecuador, the Dominican Republic, London, Denmark, India, you name it. They're from all over the world. It's truly a global celebration. Now, for those of you that have been following us every hour, you know that it got a little heated last hour between the football team and the band and who was coming through on top of the vote count. In fact, Katie, who was with us in the social media center for a good long while tonight, said, the best band in the land dominating the football team. Well, let's take it over to Craig Horvath. Craig, is that still the case?
Hello, Notre Dame family. We are family and we are ND because we want to say thank you for joining us for Notre Dame Day because we're proud to be ND. The band is indeed still beating the football team. High's band is beating High's man. So let's go, football players. Step up, hit that social media, and take it to the band. We also want to give you a quick update on the Mendoza College of Business, the finest undergraduate business school in the world. #1, 5 years running, is now currently in 3rd place. So you're in jeopardy, Mendoza College of Business. Let's gather together, get on social media, and get your votes up. And let's go to the total on giving, and let's see how many gifts we've garnered thus far on Notre Dame Day, the inaugural event, 928. We're going to have these silly hats on to match my crazy jacket until we get to 1,000 gifts. So continue to watch, continue to connect, continue to give, and continue to vote. Go Irish.
Thanks, guys. Okay, don't go to sleep because coming up next we have Father John Jenkins coming, a live visit to the Morris Inn, and another performance by Pat McKillen. So see you back here for more stuff from Notre Dame Day live at the top of the next hour.